Hello, friends, and welcome to the Big Drive Energy podcast. Masters Week is finally here. It's the best week of the year in golf. Everybody kind of gets that bug, and they like just it increases this week because there's just nothing but Masters on. It's the most covered tournament. First of all, it's the best tournament.
Yeah, recreational golf. It doesn't matter what kind of fan you are. You're watching this weekend. If you like golf, this is the weekend.
Exactly. And we are, of course, presented by Pins and Aces, both wearing the Pins and Aces hoodies, hats. We got the hat in front of us. We got the liquor stick, greatest invention of all time. Fits a full 750 in your golf bag. Buy your liquor from the golf course. That's what we do every time we play with the liquor stick. We take it out of the little plastic cups, save the turtles, and we put it into the liquor stick, fill that up, and it dispenses the entire round, or 9 holes if you're me, depending upon the round, the way it's going. But Pins and Aces is a Colorado company. They are awesome about everything. They do a drop for everything. There's a few lines coming out that I don't know if we can actually talk about, so I won't say it. But the Augusta line is out right now. Pimento cheese sandwich hoodies, sweaters, hats. They've got the shirts, and we're going to be rocking those at the DNVR bar this Saturday for the Masters watch party. Make sure you come down 11 a.m. We're going to have games. Pins and Aces will be here with a shop, so they're going to have stuff you can buy. We're going to have some games where you can win a percentage off of your entire order of anything that you buy there. We're going to have egg salad sandwiches. We're going to have chips, $5 John Daly's, and also a shot that I came up with yesterday because alcohol is one of my favorite hobbies, if hobby is what you can consider
Favorite
it.
pastimes.
And it's called a Texas Wedge. So it's a drop shot of, you get a little cup of Breckenridge Summer Shandy, and you drop a shot of iced tea Deep Eddy into it.
That sounds ridiculous.
It is ridiculously good. We're calling it the Texas Wedge. I'm going to drink too much of them. Make sure you come out to the bar and join us this Saturday, 11 a.m. All right. Let's tee it up. So you know how, like, you're saying this is just where you sit on the couch and watch the Masters all day?
Yeah.
Actually, funny story about that. It's a bad week to be a couch for sure. But so Henry, I'm talking to Henry up in the office yesterday, and I'm like, hey, dude, you coming to the Masters watch party on Saturday? He goes, no, I'm actually going to be in, like, San Diego with Lexi on a trip. And I was like, oh, like, cool. Didn't kind of, like, put 2 and 2 together. He's like, dude, it's Masters weekend. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, Lexi was really nice and was like, yeah, we can just go to a bar and find somewhere to watch it. He's like, no, you don't understand. This is when you just sit on the couch for 14 straight hours and watch nothing but golf.
Yeah, you watch it just front to back the entire day. Actually, 2 years ago when they had the Masters in October, was it?
2020, yep.
Was that 2020 or 2021?
2020.
Okay, that was in 2020.
When Dustin Johnson won it.
I actually wasn't sick, but you remember this. I was exposed to COVID that week. I had to stay home I had to quarantine over Masters
that's
weekend.
The worst.
No, it was the best fucking weekend of my life.
Jesus, you forgot my sarcasm.
You're not very good at it.
No, I'm not.
No, it is that weekend where you just want to lay there and do nothing but watch golf, soak it in, Jim Nance's voice, just the views of the property are, it just does something inside of you that is not explainable. It is my favorite golf week of the year. And so this kind of is somewhat on topic here. Did you hear Gary Players say that the Masters is his 4th favorite event? Like, 4th favorite major, I'm sorry.
Like in general or to play in?
No, the last of the majors. He thinks it's like the least important.
Why? Did he give a reason? Did he never win it? Is he salty?
No, he's won it 3 times.
Oh.
They won't give him a tee time now, though.
Oh, yes. Okay, so there's
some
salt for sure, 100%.
Oh, yeah, he's super salty about it, but I thought that was hilarious. Like, I mean, the U.S. Open, the British Open are both in their own right very important. The PGA is kind of a little bit of an afterthought, I would say. But the Masters is far and away just like in a class of its own in majors, in my opinion.
Yeah, like if you win a PGA championship, and somebody like asked who won the 2019 PGA Championship, highly unlikely that a normal non-nut, like non-golf nut, non-golf nut would realize like who that was. But when you win a Masters, like guys like Danny Willett, they're forever ingrained in history. And you are.
Well, you
as
just
a
asked
PGA
how many Masters Gary Player won. So.
Well, I'm talking like we weren't born, bro. I haven't studied
that
the
was
history
when
of the
that was when our
Masters.
parents were little kids. I think it was like in the 60s. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So like don't expect me
You're
to
not a
know
history buff?
that. No.
Not up on your golf history?
I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. That's as far as my history goes.
That's fair. You do not have a great memory.
But yeah, the Masters is just like the event to win, and now that makes sense that Gary Player can't get a tee time. Whatever.
Well, and he wanted to take like his family out there, and they wanted him to play with a member. He's upset he can't just roll up there and peg it whenever he feels the need. Like, it's a little ridiculous. And I mean, he is an honorary guy. Like, for those of you who don't watch a lot of golf or haven't watched like the Masters yet, they do an honorary drive, and it used to be Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player. Now it is, since Arnold Palmer passed away, it is Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and I think they added, who was it last year? Did they add? I think it was the first African American to ever win a major.
Oh,
what is his name?
dude, I saw this name this morning, and I was
You have your
looking it up.
computer right in front of you. You can Google it right there.
Well, I'm currently doing something on that that also pertains
okay.
to this podcast.
Oh, that's good.
But
Oh, dude. Why do I want to say his name was Clifford? No, that can't be right.
you might not be completely wrong.
Like somewhere in that ballpark. I might be so far off.
well, the winner of the first
Well, let's just
is it
let's just
Horton Smith?
Horton. Did he do the honorary? Did he hit
I
the
don't
tee
know.
shot
I
last
just know
year?
he won 2 Masters in 1934 and 1936. So he's probably not.
No,
alive.
I don't think he's 130 years old hitting a tee shot.
Okay, yeah, you're
Good Lord.
I'm a little off there. That was the years were behind me, but basically, I'm actually going to be on Gary Player's.
Wait. Okay, so they added Tom Watson to it, which is awesome. Which is very cool.
Yeah, Tom Watson's an OG for
Yeah,
sure.
you know how many majors he won?
1, right?
He won 6.
6.
Good Lord.
I just know he won the Open. That's all I know.
No, he lost that Open to Stuart Sink. He would have been the oldest player to ever win a major. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, he won an Open at St. Andrews, didn't he?
I
Or
think
is that the one
no.
he
I
lost?
think you're correct. But he almost beat Stuart Sink when he was like 60 or something crazy. But anywho, so that's the honorary first tee is Tom Watson, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player.
I will say I'm actually on Gary's side here. If you won the Masters 3 fucking times, let your little shit eating kids come out, and they're probably his shit eating kids are probably like older than we are. His shit eating great grandkids.
He's like, Grandpa, can we get a tee time at Augusta?
Well, I would say like that's a little snooty of them. Like I know this is an uppity golf course. It's maybe the most prestigious golf course in the world to play.
No, it's not.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
And you've won the Masters 3 times and you can't even get your family on. I don't know. I'm siding with the player on this one.
Yeah, I think it has to do somewhat with his comments coming out against the PGA Tour, and is the reason why he's turned off a lot of people. He's made some pretty shitty comments in the last couple of years, so that could be it. But I want to talk about, because this is a huge factor this whole week, is the weather. So it's Georgia in the springtime, and it's generally pretty nice, but it doesn't look like it's going to be this weekend. So we've got Thursday is 85, pretty nice. That
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's prime. Friday, 74 and rain. Saturday, high of 53 and rain. And Sunday, high of 60 and rain. This could play more like a British Open. I mean, not terrain-wise, but conditions-wise, it could be a completely different looking tournament this year because of that.
Yeah, I saw Tiger Woods hitting of course, they've got everybody following him around during his practice rounds and playing around. He hit a wedge shot that probably had a 1.5-foot divot. Like, that just came out of the ground like a full-on beaver pelt.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that definitely affecting play. And I mean, they keep lengthening Augusta National to the point where I don't think if it gets this soft that any medium to short player is going to be able to win. Like, if the fairways, if your ball is plugging in its own ball mark and the greens are this soft, because it gets to a point where you can't dry a course out anymore. You know, if it's just that rainy, it's that rainy. Which kind of contradicts one of my picks that I made. The odds were there, but we'll get into that later. But Saturday is going to be probably on our watch party day here at DNVR. Is probably going to be the most fun day to watch. 53 in rain. As long as, fingers crossed, the golf actually happens. Like, I didn't even consider that. That could really suck.
What a disaster that would be.
Oh, my God. Watching a replay. Fuck.
But we would get, obviously not for the watch party, but I wouldn't mind if it was all like delayed and then we got like a Monday finish.
Yeah.
That Sunday scaries are a very real thing for me already. But Sunday after the Masters is like horrid.
You got it so tough, dude.
I do.
I think we're going to try to play golf next Monday, so that should alleviate.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like...
Or not Monday, Wednesday.
It's going to be 80 degrees here.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Speaking of the weather, that kind of triggered something in my mind. So I played golf in Hilton Head Island this past weekend. Incredible day, great golf course. Played Colleton River, the Pete Dye design. But they had, when you walked in, they had today's forecast on like a sheet of paper just on the front of
That's genius.
on the pro shop counter.
That was one of my least favorite questions.
I took a picture of it. I was like, oh, this is too good. Let me see here.
How come that didn't get on social media?
I don't know. I kind of like, I was recording a TikTok the whole around and like,
which I still haven't seen.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the right time. This is a Masters only week, bro. We're like really pushing, the Masters. Essentially.
That makes sense.
The forecast was partly cloudy, potential PM storms, high of 84, winds southwest 16 to 18 miles an hour, green speed 12.5.
Wow, they're stimping quick.
They were.
Do you know what direction southwest is?
From here?
Yep, pretty close. Yeah,
somewhere in that
you're
direction.
Like over there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
good work. I just know you're not very good with directions.
No, I'm horrible. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. An interesting, nice little touch.
Yeah, that's a great touch.
Because you get people that come in and, of course, ask,
what's it going to do today?
Yeah. What's the forecast looking like? What's the radar looking like? Is my least favorite question. All right, back to the Masters. So one thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was cool, Golf Digest put a little article out, kind of basically saying the classifications, if you will, of all the 88 participants this year in the Masters and how they got in. Now, I'm not going to get into each player.
I was going to say, what, are we going to be here all night? Or?
This is a 4-hour Big Drive Energy, actually.
Special edition.
Alyssa's like,
where Mitchell takes a nap.
Alyssa's like,
and Spencer just fucking rambles for 4 hours.
No, but so it's cool to see like what gets you into the Masters, because the only thing that's guaranteed
past champ
is past champ. And you think like, okay, the way the world golf rankings are going right now, some of these LIV guys, if that doesn't get, resolved,
yeah, they're going to be out.
Exactly. They're not going to be able to play in this unless they've won a Masters or these other things. So some qualifying categories. So if you win the Masters, you have a lifetime exemption.
Yeah.
If you win the U.S. Open, you have a 5-year exemption. If you win the Open Championship, a 5-year exemption. And the PGA Championship, 5-year exemption. So all 3 other majors, 5 years into the Masters.
Okay.
If you are the Players Champion, you will get a 3-year exemption.
Okay.
If you
Is that what Cam Smith's playing on?
No,
or
he's
the British
Open Championship.
Yeah.
So he'll be in for the next 5 years. We've got the Mans at Augusta,
and we've got
for 5
DJ
years.
for
life.
Oh yeah, he won a Masters.
Yeah, he won it in that October one you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Lowest score to par ever, 20 under.
Oh yes,
Domination from DJ.
I just said I watched it all fucking weekend. I didn't remember who won it.
Yeah, clearly. All right. Current Olympic gold medalist, which is
Justin Rose.
No, this person gets 1 year.
Who won last year?
Xander, bro.
Oh, I forgot.
Xander Schauffele.
Okay, Rose was the first ever one, I think, to individually win the Olympics. That was...
Which, actually, what I'm confused
that
about
last
now...
year?
No, that... Maybe. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking gold medalist is only every 4 years.
Yeah.
So you get an exemption the next year, so maybe this is vacant currently. I don't remember when the Olympics was.
I think it was 2022. I think that... Were the Summer Olympics just last year?
I don't know. You can look that up while I go through and keep rambling. The current U.S. amateur champion and runner-up. So if you're in the U.S. amateur, you get 1 year of Masters exemption. Current British amateur champ gets 1 year. Asia Pacific, U.S. mid-amateur champ, Latin America amateur. And then if you get 12 players, first 12 players, including ties in the previous Masters, get in. And then this is where it gets kind of interesting. So, like, we think of other majors, right? It's important to win.
Yeah.
You know, but so we talked so much about last year in the PGA Championship, Mito Pereira just blowing it, right? He blew it for a lot of reasons. It sucked for him for a lot of reasons. But him still hanging on to fourth got him into this year's Masters.
Oh, that's
because he
cool.
wouldn't have been able to do it on official world golf ranking, and he wouldn't have been able to do it now that he's on the LIV Tour.
So I'm curious, does it have Abram Answer?
Abram Answer, yes.
I think because he finished top 5 in last year's Masters.
All right, Abram Answer.
It's AA, should be at the top of the list.
It's not listed like that, buddy. Sandy Lyle, best one of all time. I love watching him on Thursday or Friday afternoon.
Shoot 90.
With his fucking suspenders.
Yeah, that's
absolute
legendary.
Best view of the Masters. And I love that he just
Him and
keeps,
Fred Couples is another one that's just awesome to watch.
Yeah, and some people like still bet on Fred Couples, like they think he's just gonna find it, which is hilarious to me.
Well, same with Tiger.
Abraham Answer qualified on criteria 18.
Oh boy, I didn't realize we were reading a fucking encyclopedia here.
50 leaders in the final official world golf ranking for the previous calendar year. So
Okay.
that's how he's in this tournament.
Got you. Because I know he played well last year's Masters.
Yeah, well, and he won the Genesis last year, right? You know, a couple weeks before the Masters.
That was Joaquin Neiman.
Different player, yep. Absolute different player.
Wait, what tournament did you say?
Genesis. It's Joaquin Neiman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Totally different. Well, we're talking about a couple live guys. I feel like we got to address some of the commentary flying
The
around.
elephant in the room,
Yeah.
so to say.
Which I feel like the commentators are making it a way bigger deal than the players are making it. Like, even Rory said, I'm buddies with Brooks. He didn't say I'm buddies, but he sees
He
him.
said I can get on with.
Yeah,
Fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful type of terminology.
Yep, his Irish accent and all. But he said he was actually playing 9 holes with Brooks later this afternoon as a practice round. So it sounds like they're fine. And I even saw a thing. Did you see where somebody asked about the Brooks Bryson beef? That's no longer either. Apparently they got together, squashed it, and it feels like it really, but it does still feel like it's LIV versus the PGA Tour. Because even Greg Norman came out and said if a LIV player wins, all of the LIV players that are in the Masters are going to be waiting to congratulate him, like by the 18th green,
Right, which I think is awesome. Actually.
Which I think is cool, but it's just going to be like it's going to be like the Monstars.
Can you imagine like Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, final group coming down the 18th tied?
God.
Like that will shatter all sorts of record. Like even if you're remote, like 1% into golf, you're locked in to that final round. And I just hope, we're going to be doing a live show here at the DNVR bar Sunday. Leaders usually 15, 16, 17, kind of what we're feeling, but we want it to be close, and that's all we ask for every Masters. At the end of this pod, we're going to give you guys our picks, but we want it to be close. Ultimately,
100%.
Even if one of our guys runs away with it. Last weekend, I had Corey Connors. You're welcome. Plus 2,200. Thank you. We're now back up units on the year.
Up 10, 12 units.
Yeah, we're up 8.2 or something like that. But nonetheless, we're winning, and he was up like 3 or 4 strokes, and I still felt myself like cheering for other dudes. Which is
What?
bizarre. I don't know
that's
why.
weird. That's weird.
I think a fun finish at the 18th hole is much better than just some nonsense like guys up 3. He 3 putts. He rides it in there and still wins by 2. Lame. I'd much rather have it be close or even. I mean, we haven't had a playoff in the Masters in a while.
I don't remember the last one.
Yeah, so that'd be fun. But yeah, we want it to be close. But a LIV guy and a PGA Tour guy,
That would be unbelievable.
it would be must see TV. This is already must see TV. That would make it even better. So what is your? We've been listening to. We've watched Live at the Masters. If you've been watching that this week already, some talking heads out there. Of course, they're PGA Tour one-sided a little bit. I want to get your take on how they are viewing the LIV guys and some of the things that they've said, like they're not really playing golf. They don't really have that competitive edge. What say you?
That was very cute.
You like that?
I think there's some merit to it, but I still think at the end of the day, these guys can still go win the Masters for sure. Like Nota Begay today, I heard him say, you write off certain guys like that can't win, and he goes the USA, all the AMs, and then he goes add all the LIV guys in there, and then you're down to, and it's like, what? You don't think a LIV guy can win? Like, I just feel like that was so ignorant of him to say, and clearly a shot, like kind of unwarranted. And you can hate on LIV as much as you want, but these guys are still playing world-class golf. It would be also very insane if Brooks came out of nowhere and won this weekend, where, especially with everybody watching Full Swing, seeing where his game was just last year at total rock bottom. He won on LIV last week. He's in good form. There's quite a few guys from LIV that you could see coming out of nowhere. And honestly, it doesn't look like the sports books are giving them a whole lot of credit either. Like they are handicapping it for these guys not playing as much golf, which I find interesting because that could be a massive mistake. And really, like, nobody knows because this is the first major since LIV started. You know what I mean? Or first of the new year. Last year was kind of guys were filtering in throughout the year, but this is the first start of the new year with the guys solidified on LIV and on the PGA Tour. So it's going to be very interesting to see what these guys can come out and do. I don't think they'll have any problem competing whatsoever. Like, to write them off is a complete fucking joke. That's just, I feel like Nota Begay was trying to have a hot take, say something exciting to ruffle some feathers, but I think that's asinine.
Yeah, I do know for sure. I'm not going to name the name of the sports book, but I did see. I have it on my phone, and I did see this morning that they do have a prop for any LIV player to win the Masters. What do you think the odds are on that?
Plus 300 or 400?
Plus 500.
Okay.
So plus 500, you get Cam Smith, Dustin Johnson.
I might have to find that action.
You get, obviously, past Masters winner Bubba Watson.
You get Bryson DeChambeau.
You get Bryson, but I actually hope Bryson shoots 80 both days.
It's a par 68, bro.
Yeah, par 67 is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Even worse.
Yeah.
And we got, actually, it looks like tee times right there. Dustin Johnson's playing with Corey Connors and Justin Rose. Tiger, Victor Hovland, and Xander Schauffele on Thursday. Love to see that. Just three dudes that are all worth watching. Like they didn't throw Tiger with like.
They never would throw him in a bad group. I mean, I honestly figured they would throw him in a more star-studded group.
You don't think there's like Victor Hovland and Xander Schauffele?
How many combined majors does that group have? 15?
15, yeah.
So, I mean.
And a gold medal.
Can't forget that gold medal. See what I'm saying? I figured they'd really put together like Justin Thomas. Like, honestly, that group at the Genesis earlier this year at Riviera, they should have just redone that. It was Homa, Thomas, and Tiger. Wasn't it Homa, Thomas, and Tiger?
Yeah.
And they all were just like laughing their asses off the whole day. It was just a great vibe. That would have been cool. I'm surprised they don't just like let Tiger request who he wants to play with at this point. Like they should be like, who do you want to go out there with? Like this is yours.
Yeah, well, I know he's close with a lot of guys think they're close with him, but I do think him and Xander are fairly close. Like nobody's as close with him as Justin Thomas, I think, is maybe the closest one.
They're very
but
close.
There's Xander Schauffele seems like, and Victor Hovland's just seems like a good dude.
Yeah, he could just play with anybody.
Yeah, they kind of gave him a.
He's a chameleon.
Yeah, exactly.
He just blends in.
Which is ironic because he's won the Mayakoba, which is a chameleon trophy.
Wow, look at you putting together all the pieces.
Look at that, connecting the dots.
So real quick, do we have a number on what Tiger's odds are to make the cut? Because that's always a huge prop. I'm gonna.
I had it last year.
I remember.
I had it,
and he missed it, didn't he?
No, he made it.
Oh, he made it by like 1 or 2.
Yeah, and then he. Oh, I believe.
I'm gonna bet it's like plus 250.
He has his own on the DraftKings Sportsbook. He has his own
section.
Tiger at Augusta is what it is.
That's unbelievable.
Tiger Woods any bogey-free round is plus 700.
No, not happening.
Birdies in round 1 over 3.5.
Just get to the part where he makes or misses the cut.
Tiger Woods to break the course record plus 5,000.
Oh my god!
They actually don't have to make. It's not under the Tiger props. So
okay,
I'll go miss cut. Rory Mcilroy is minus 10,000 to make the cut.
Wow, that could be a fire. If you had like some inside info, like he tweaked his ankle or got thrown down the stairs by John Rahm.
It's funny because in this
Johnson style,
in missing the cut, they don't have like Sandy Lyle or any of those guys. Like they don't have that. They're
like, you're playing 2
Zach
days.
Johnson's the last guy that they got. He's plus 115, and Kisner.
Yeah, you can enjoy your 2 days at Augusta.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson's even money to make the cut.
I think he misses it.
And then Tiger's minus 150
to make the cut. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, okay.
So they think he's going to do it. I think if we didn't see him at Genesis, I think it'd be a lot more. Ironically, he's still got pretty far along odds to win the tournament, of course, but you don't see odds like that for him to make the cut if you don't see him at Genesis. Because last year I think he was plus 200 to make the cut.
Yeah,
and we hadn't seen him go like
that was
Masters,
a pretty good.
He just showed up and played. Mm-hmm. This year he played really well. He hit the ball really well at the Genesis, and it's a place he's won 5 times or. He's
got his legs under him.
Yeah, but the weather, like we talked about earlier, could be a real big factor into his game specifically. Like if it's cold, most of these 25-year-old dudes that are in great shape. I'm not saying he's not, but his.
You think he's old enough to where he's like, oh, my knee's starting to creak. The weather's coming.
Oh, he could be. He could be.
I'm getting a creaky elbow. Here comes the rain.
Yeah, he very well could be. One thing we wanted to touch on too is, of course, the change to number 13. Very interesting change that a lot of players have talked about. 25-yard difference, and guys that work the ball. They
shortened it.
They lengthened it.
Just this whole talk about everybody lengthening every course. I was just making a joke.
Oh, there you go. That went straight over the top of my head. But lengthen it 25 yards, and it seems nominal when you think about it. But even a guy like Dustin Johnson, there was that video yesterday. If you guys are on Twitter, you probably saw it, golf Twitter at least, where he talked about how he never tries to work the ball right to left, which in past Masters years, Dustin Johnson's different because he's in a league of his own when he's on fire.
Yeah.
But guys that work the ball left to right don't typically win the Masters.
Yeah, right-handed golfer. Yeah. A right-handed guy fading it's not a good.
Right. Like Bubba Watson's won multiple Masters. That dude can cut the ball because he's left-handed an insane amount.
Yeah.
So working the ball right to left will help you at Augusta a ton. And this new change to number 13, 25 yards further back on the tee box, is now making players go for it and two is like it's making that a real risk reward decision. And a lot of guys said they're going to lay up, and Dustin Johnson even said, working the ball left to right, he's going to kind of hit it into the hill instead of getting it down the speed slot.
Yeah.
He's going to have to lay up a fair amount. And birdie's still a makeable number there, but when guys can't go for it in 2 as much, it's going to affect the back 9 extensively because the 13th hole at the Masters has yielded 124 eagles in the last 10 years. So a little over 12 a year.
I was gonna say I almost don't like we've always talked about how much we love a good like risk reward par 5, and if this is tempting guys to not go for it, I think that's lame because you still have to hit a miraculous shot into that green, no matter how far you've got. You know, if you have 220, that's obviously it's a go, but you still have to hit a really, really good shot to make 3. And you can still go over that green. You know, there's that green is so tough that I don't think you need to make that hole any longer. But you know, that's just the way golf's going now. They, for some reason, think they need to make everything longer. So,
yeah. So that'll be an interesting development during the week, especially, you know, when you get to the back 9 on Sunday and you basically give players 15's an eagleable hole too. It wasn't eagled a ton last year because of I don't know if it was the pin positions, but it's definitely a gettable par 5.
yeah.
All 4 of the par 5s at the Masters are pretty gettable except for 8. That's super
Uphill, dogleg left.
Yeah, that one's not, but like 2, I believe, or no, 3. 3 is extremely, you know, Louis Oosthuizen made a 2 there once. That hole's very eagleable. Same with 13, same with 15, but now that maybe takes one of those chances to make another eagle on the back 9 out of play.
Yeah.
All right, it's time. It's time for our official Big Bet Energy picks for this year's 2023 Masters Tournament. All right, Mitchell, let's get into yours. I'm glad, actually, 2 of these picks, I'm really glad you picked because they were on my cutting room floor.
Okay, so yeah, you're talking about the top 2.
Correct.
Yeah, so I got to go with Rory McIlroy. He needs it to win to have a career Grand Slam. Plus 750. I mean, those aren't terrible odds. They're relatively low, but for a guy playing as well as he's playing, top 10 minus 125 is, I don't love that. I would almost rather take the value on him winning. But then again, he is the king of backdooring a top 5, top 10 contending on Sunday when he seems like he's out of it. So even at minus 125, I still do like that to top 10. I do think he has a very, very good chance of winning this week, which would be about as good for golf as any story possible. So I'm really rooting for that. Cameron Young is my second guy. He is one of the best ball strikers, I think, out on the PGA Tour. He can work it however he wants to work it, plus 190 plus ball speed. He can move it. Like, if he gets the putter going, and he still is yet to win on the PGA Tour, which is insane, but he's due. I feel like he's at the point now where he's due to come out and make a statement. Like, he's contended at majors too, so he's had no problem. Didn't he finish second in every major last year?
Yeah, basically watching Full Swing back, and they highlighted each of the major. You know, Matt Fitzpatrick.
I think
winning,
he was top
Justin
5.
Like, he's always right there.
Yeah, so I love that. Top 10, he's plus 280. Am I reading that correctly? My vision is not what it once was. But I like him plus 3,500 to win. I just think that he's got all the tools in the toolbox, and he just needs to use them. And then my last pick is a bit of a flyer. We haven't taken, since we switched our picks, we haven't been doing like long shots, things like that. I think Abraham Answer he's a long shot, but I think plus 11,000 is pretty crazy considering how well he played here last year. The form that he's been in the last 3 to 5 years, just in general, I really think he can go out and compete. He's got one of the best short games, chipping, putting, pitching on the PGA, LIV Tour now. But this dude is one of the best in the world around the greens, and that's what makes you money at Augusta. Obviously, you have to have the ball striking, but Abraham Answer being a little bit of a shorter dude, he's a smaller guy, not the longest guy out there. I think his short game could really come through, and plus 800 to top 10, plus 11,000 to win. I feel like that's worth throwing a 10 spot on. Like, holy shit, that's huge odds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like you said, really good short game here. Could be the factor. If it's not if it's going to be soft and it obviously benefits the longer hitters in general. But
if it's long enough for everybody,
if it's long enough for everyone, it makes the scores low, and then that's when short game comes into play even more. My picks, I got to do it. Scottie Scheffler, he is right as I bet this. He went from plus 700 to plus 650. DraftKings, make sure you
stealing the boost.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code DNVR, and you're getting $200 in bonus bets after you place your first $5 bet. The minimum age and eligibility restrictions do apply, but download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's where we're going to be live betting the Masters. We're betting it. We're pre-round betting it. We're betting Tiger. There's so many different props and so many different odds for this tournament, so make sure you're checking that out and getting those $200 in bonus bets that you can use all Masters weekend when you bet $5 with promo code DNVR. But Scottie Scheffler, they are boosting anyone to win plus 300. And this is kind of our MO with the guys that are lower odds. It was crazy to see two guys in the plus 700s, both Rory and Scottie. Sounds like a lot of money's being thrown on this Masters and on those guys for obvious reasons. But Scottie Scheffler is a spite bet for me. Not necessarily, I don't know the right term, but basically if he wins and I didn't bet it, I'll feel like an idiot.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's literally the only way I can describe why I'm betting on him.
That's like being on the outside of a hot craps table.
Exactly, and you just sit in there.
You have to get in to win. So you got to bet Scottie. I totally get it.
He's played in seven PGA Tour events this year. His worst finish is a T12.
Real quick, I was thinking of that. He's the defending champ, so who would put the jacket on him?
He puts the jacket on himself.
Would he really?
I don't
Somebody
actually
hand it to him like this, and he just
he sets it up next to himself and then puts it here.
Takes off last year's and then puts on this year's.
Yeah, and how many times has that been done for your trivia purposes?
3.
3 before, and the 3 guys, one's easy.
Jack, Tiger, Arnold, who?
Nick Faldo.
89
and 90, he did that.
Wow.
So he could become the 4th player to ever win back-to-back Masters, but I just, like I said, can't not bet him if he's playing and he wins, and I would, I'll cheer for him. And if he loses because I bet on him,
I am openly going to root against you if he's fucking winning.
I like I said, I just want it to be close.
It will be a house divided. Just know that.
Fair. A bar divided. And then my second pick, I had to throw a live guy in there, Dustin Johnson, plus 2,200. Won the Masters before. To top 10, he is plus 210. I feel like he's just competitive, knows how to win at Augusta. I don't really care what shape his game's in or what shape everyone says every live player's game is in right now. It's Dustin Johnson. It's the Masters. He's healthy. He's ready to roll. And then this guy's always played well at the Masters. I believe he had the first round lead last year. He won at Pebble Beach this year, so he's got some goodwill, if you will, from me for this 2023 season. Justin Rose, he is plus 5,000 to win it and plus 400 to top 10.
I like that.
Those are our picks. Any guys that you left on the cutting room floor so that we can say, so then if they win, we feel at least a little better
I feel
about
like
it?
John Rahm is getting lost in this whole thing. He hasn't done anything for like a month, so everybody forgets him, but he's going to be one of the top guys up there too. I wouldn't be shocked if he won it.
My 2 guys that I'm leaving off of this, but just putting it out there, Tommy Fleetwood and Shane Lowry. I think are 2 guys that have...
I would love to see Big Shane-O.
Shane got 3rd in last year's Masters, so he definitely can play at Augusta. But those are the 2 guys that I'm going to just throw in here at the end of the pod, just in case they win. We can roll this clip back, and I'll be like, I was
all the credit
right.
if they win, none of the blame if they don't.
If they miss the cut, exactly. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you all tuning in. Follow us along all Masters Week at Big Drive Energy on Twitter, Big Drive Energy Pod on Instagram. Follow our picks if you want. Or lose.
Or fade.
Or fade. Follow or fade. It's just how we roll. I mean, I've hit 2 winners in the last 5 weeks on the PGA Tour.
You're back getting sore from carrying us?
I am carrying us right now. Pretty heavy. You are pretty heavy in the backpack. So.
Hey, I'm right here. This week, I'm feeling it.
I love it. Well, as long as one of us wins, everybody wins. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Final round, Masters. Be there on Saturday. Be at the bar.